This next one's going to be about Zoom. You wrote a really interesting Forbes piece about some of the things they're doing around the platform and the connectivity. Let's start there.
Yeah. So essentially, big picture, a lot of these SaaS companies are looking at full stacks as one of the ways to success. We have a full stack from Microsoft, full stack from Google, and Salesforce is trying to build a full stack too. And part of this is messaging, and it's messaging not just for the capability of messaging, but it's messaging also for the data that it can mine and use to improve experiences and get insights into what people are doing. One of the missing pieces that you and I both talked about is, hey, where's the video element of this, right? There is integration, a lot of integration with Zoom, but there's also integration with AWS and what it's doing on the video front. Well, Slack came out at their Frontiers conference with this idea of Huddles. And Huddles I don't see as a full-time, trying to remove a Zoom or something like that. But essentially, it's like being around the water cooler, right? Want a quick meeting, boom, we have a huddle. I've got video. We can talk back and forth. And I think it's a good toe in the water to a full collaboration solution in the future that I think you and I are both expecting.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. You went actually so fast I wasn't ready on that one, but that was good. Long and short is this. I've been very outspoken when I've been talking with Salesforce about the fact that Slack's integration needs to be deeper. The company needs to build something that looks, feels, acts like its own iteration of Teams, because that's sticky. We'll talk about Zoom a little bit later, but the biggest weakness and risk for Zoom has been the fact that it's not Microsoft. Because people actually like using Zoom. I would argue in many cases they like Zoom more than Teams as a standalone product. But Teams has all the integration. Salesforce has the opportunity to do that as well. And that's been kind of like a missing link. When are they going to make this $27 billion acquisition part of a ecosystem for work or an operating system for work, or what I believe that's what Mark Benioff called it. Essentially, it's going to be the future of work is going to be Slack and Salesforce together, and it's going to be the center of how you operate a operating system, like I said. So, long and short, Pat, is these are little baby steps. You're getting baby steps. I think they're making progress. As an analyst, I'd like to see more progress coming from Slack into the Salesforce ecosystem. But I will also admit I've never done an integration that big. It's hard. You may speak more to it, having been part of strategy during some acquisitions, but there is a lot of complexity to making an acquisition work. A company like Salesforce is profitable, it's growing, and sometimes it is hard, especially in a market like now, to explain the amount of investment required to actually make an integration like this happen. Don't bet against Salesforce. I will not bet against them, though. I do think they'll do okay here, but I think we're probably a year or two out yet from seeing a fully integrated product to compete with Microsoft Teams.